Welcome to Intuitive Art Sales. This is the show where I, Jessica Craddock, am going to teach you how to source your art marketing from within. You're going to practice claiming that authentic art business that you want and leading into the most natural way for you to get there. You're going to learn to get connected to your intuition, your confidence, and your community so that you can sell your art consistently while holding strong boundaries on your work-life balance. Welcome back to Intuitive Art Sales. I am here with Jasmine Kroeze. She creates bold, playful, organic art that's heavily influenced by her background in textiles. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see behind her. She has a 1 and a 4-year-old and has really tight boundaries around her family time. So she's only working about 3 days a week, but she wants to diversify her income streams to future-proof and make her business more sustainable. How's it going?
Hi, good. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. So, Jasmine, we have not talked at all about what we are going to talk about today, which makes it more fun. So,
Yeah,
is there anywhere where you would like to start? Or would you just like tell me a little bit more? Like you said, I'm working about 3 days a week, I want to diversify my income. Can we just go down that road for a little bit actually and
yeah,
see what comes of it? Ready to go.
cool. Okay, great. So I work for myself, work from home, and I just adore like my time. For me, I'm an introvert, so with a busy family life, I've been quite intentional about creating like my home studio practice as kind of like a little retreat where I can build energies. I'm actually like more fulfilled and more energized and more excited for my family life. So my background is in fashion and textiles. When I was working in fashion and textiles, like just giving everything out in a busy like office environment a lot of the time, I would just come home and I just had nothing left. I left my like previous job unexpectedly. My contract finished and I thought I was going to renew it, but I decided not to, and then a week later found out I was pregnant with Ivy, my 4-year-old now.
That's kind of how mine went, except
Yeah.
I quit, and then a month later, I was pregnant, and we'd been trying for a
Amazing.
little bit.
So yeah, I said to my husband, like, what am I gonna do? So I actually went freelance surface pattern design, so like textile design or and like a little bit of like graphic design, branding, just to kind of like, get the money coming in.
Mm.
And that was yeah, that was kind of the beginning of it, and when I was maybe 20 weeks pregnant with Ivy, I answered a call out to paint a mural. Never painted a mural before, but I was like, "This is gonna be fun." So, kinda my headspace was like, I'm used to working in, like, a meter and a half or, like, what is that in yards? Like, a fabric width, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, like, maybe 1.5 yards or whatever, maybe a little less. And then I was like, "Okay, I can think like 5 meters across, like, for a mural, like, this is not too far to go." So, I started painting this mural and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so much fun, loving painting." My husband bought me, like, a massive piece of plywood because I kept saying like, "Oh, I just wanna paint something," you know? And so he bought me this big piece of plywood. I bought some house paints and just threw some paint around, made some, like, really hideous, terrible abstract art that is, like, super embarrassing. But that kinda sparked, like that was the beginning of my painting journey. I love this hands-on. It's just taking my textile practice kinda, like, one step further.
Right.
Um, and for, like, a long time, I struggled with what's my style? What's my point of view? And then I just realized, like, it was just within me. It was already there. I didn't have to, like, kinda push and, like, exploring all these different people and styles and studying other artists and things like that. I'm like, already there. Just keep doing what you're doing and just paint what you're
Yeah.
already creating.
It's like
That
therapy, you're
was
just pulling it out.
yeah, yeah. That was my big aha moment of like, okay, like this is my point of view. This is my style. I mean, it's evolved so much
Of
since.
course,
Yeah,
because you have.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that kind of like how it all evolved and started. Yeah.
So now you are selling originals and you are selling prints. You told me earlier that believe, I don't know if it's exclusively or just the majority of your originals sell through galleries, and then your prints, you're kind of, let's call it drop shipping for just to simplify.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that accurate, or do you sell
Um,
originals on your own as well, or
so
tell
about
me a little bit more?
half half. Yeah, originals about half on my website and half through galleries. Yeah, the market has changed a lot in New Zealand. So I was on maternity leave last year, and I really felt like things obviously slowed down for me, and the market sort of changed a lot in that year that I was off work. And so that was my like, "Oh, wow, I really need to change some things up," because, like, if I'm heavily relying on my originals to sell, that's a lot of pressure, and a lot of pressure creatively to, like, be churning out work, production style, and, that's not where I want my art to come from.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the right energy that I wanna be putting into my pieces. So that was my reaction of like, "Okay, this needs to be more sustainable." So I already had a couple of different revenue streams going on in my business. With my textile design background, there's that surface pattern aspect, which is really helpful to, like, a lot of people refer to it as art licensing. Um,
Mhm.
be able to license my artwork for other businesses' products. That's a really nice way to, I guess, hit the same art, but have a
Right.
different outcome for it and also be paid for it again. And so sustainability wise, that's a really nice way to kind of diversify that income.
So that's your
Um,
3rd income stream.
so that's number three. Yeah.
Do you have any
Um,
more?
yes.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, yeah. So murals, I kind of classify that as like another income stream. It's sort of, yeah, it's quite different. I'm just starting to get a little leverage off my social media. So, like, partnership deals and things like that. I'm actually interested in starting YouTube.
Mm.
I'm following your little journey on YouTube. So,
I don't use it
um,
very intentionally at the moment. I should do it
right?
better, but the fact that I'm posting anything there means that you're following me there, so that there's something to be said there,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. And I think that's actually how I found you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay. So we've got murals,
yeah,
originals, prints, art
yep,
licensing, partnerships on
mhm.
IG, possibly wanting to start YouTube. Did I forget anything?
Galleries, I guess? I
Galleries.
guess
Let's add
well,
galleries.
yeah.
Okay, so of all of those,
Yes?
is there any more? Oh, there's more. Okay. I love
Y
it.
One more. So this was my big thing of like, okay, what else am I gonna introduce? And so this year, a little controversial, I started using AI to help me
Mm,
create imagery to make mock-ups for my work.
the
And
first time I've heard that.
I was buying AI imagery anyway to mock my work up for my website. So I'm like, my husband was playing around with it and I was like, "What are you up to?" And so he kind of like showed me what he was doing. I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing. Like, I can make these beautiful interior scenes for my work and nobody else will have them. And they can be like, I can pull out the tones that I want in the work that I've created." So I started making these and started posting them on my Instagram, and I was getting a few messages of being like, "Where the heck are you getting these mock-ups from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I've been making them." And they're like, Can I have them? Can I buy them?" I'm like, "You you can buy them." Like,
Sure.
what? So I did a little research of, like, what platform was best to, like, sell them on. I bought a lot of Creative Market before,
Me
but
too.
yeah, I've tried on Creative Market, but the profit that you earn is so minimal. So I looked at a couple of different avenues and ended up with Etsy. Literally, I've never been on Etsy before this and never bought anything off there. It's just not really a thing in New Zealand.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone still has the Etsy as handmade crafty stuff that you would buy at a market, whereas there's so many different things on Etsy now. So I created a mock-up shop and started listing everything, and I've got quite like a strategic mind. And so I was like, YouTube University. Let's find out how to do everything properly. And then they just started going crazy and
Amazing.
selling and selling. And I'm like, This is insane." Like, I do the work once. They're all beautifully done in Photoshop. They're all smart objects. So it's super easy. Download the file, put the work in there and it's done. But I do the work once, list it, and, it's passive income essentially for me.
Oh, it is.
Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Can I tell you
so
an idea I just had for my husband? Because
yes.
he is working on his getting his Etsy shop back up running.
Oh, cool. Yeah. What's his Etsy shop?
He makes steel logs, like kind of sculpture out of steel that look like logs that go on top
Cool.
of gas fire pits.
Cool.
So, yeah, but his Etsy was doing really well and then just kind of tanked over the years. He wasn't paying any attention to it, but now
Yeah.
he's getting back to it. Anyway, short form videos are something that every platform is kind of going towards. And
Yeah.
so I just had the idea. I wonder if you can do video listings on Etsy, and you can. So if
Yes.
you're ever creating reels or anything for your mock-ups, go ahead and put them onto the Etsy platform as well. And I feel like that's going to boost your listing. Don't know
Yes,
that for a
totally.
fact,
Yeah.
but I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So, of all of these galleries, murals, originals, prints, art licensing, partnerships on Instagram, possibly YouTube, and Etsy with your mockups, twofold. Which one do you feel like is the most successful currently?
Currently, hands down, the interior mock-ups.
Okay.
It Yeah, it's
And which
unreal.
one are you most excited about? Is question number two.
I always have, like, a big love for murals. Murals was kind of how I started the aha moment for me,
Mm,
but it's also the community aspect of without murals, I wouldn't have that connection to my community. People love the murals, like, it's just I don't know what it is about them, but it's like to have that art in a public space is so cool, and also to be able to do something for the community is really nice. So it's like my little way of, like, giving is it giving back if you get paid for a mural?
yes. Do you feel like the art in your home gives back to you even though you
Yes,
paid for it?
totally, without a doubt.
We're going with
Yeah.
yes. I'll write it
Yes.
down. Okay, so we've got two ways that we could go, and we could go down any of these roads, but I like to go with either what's already working and how can we make it work better, or what are we most excited about,
Yeah,
and pick one of those. We'll go down that path.
right. You
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 choose.
choose.
I choose. Well, can I ask you? You don't have to share numbers with me,
Yep.
but when we look at time spent versus return, are the murals more profitable because they are a larger one project? Or is it the mock-ups because it's the multiple small income streams that just come?
Hands down, it's the mock-ups, and
Okay.
because it's you do the work once and you upload it and it's the long game, right? So
Right.
every day I might get a sale and then that builds up over time.
I will make sure to link your Etsy shop because I have a feeling that anyone listening is gonna go, "Ooh, I need to check that out." Okay, so right now it's on Etsy. How many do you have?
Like 100?
Okay,
100-ish?
great. 100. And I assume you're just creating more all the time, like, just adding them as you have the time to do it.
Yeah, and just,
Um,
like, in reaction of what's selling, like, I'll create
right.
more. And honestly, actually, I kinda stumbled across, like, wallpaper mock-up. So, like, with my service pattern background, a lot of people are, like, hunting for wallpaper mock-ups, and there's not that many out there, so I taught myself how to do that, and
Interesting.
those have been, like, selling a lot. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Kinda really love that. I am in this artist group with one of my clients, Emily. It's called the Harvest Community, and we were just talking about how people were looking for mock-ups. So our subject of the week was photography, and this one person was like, "I buy this sample wallpaper and I stick it up on the wall every time I wanna do it." And I'm like, "That sounds like a whole lot of work." So
Yeah.
that's genius. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about one, how do we get it into more hands? And two, how do we package it up to hopefully create more sales from the sales you're already making? Does that sound good?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you talking about mock-ups now, or we're talking
Yes.
prints and original?
We're talking
Mock-ups.
mock-ups because
Okay.
that's the road we have driven.
Yeah. That's where we're driving. Okay, road trip. I like it.
Yeah, because,
Great
I
analogy.
mean, if we try to talk about everything, it's just very umbrella-y, and I don't feel like it works as well, so I'd rather help you hone in on one
Right.
specific thing at a
Yeah.
time. Okay, so my first thought was either upsells, which I'm not sure they make it very easy to do on Etsy. Have you ever encountered anything on Etsy where it says upsell? I don't think you can.
So in like the shop announcement thingy, like you can put like a discount code, like a bundle.
Right.
So buy 3, get a like, I don't know, 20% off or whatever.
Yeah.
uh, Like a bundle discount. Like
Okay.
that's generally, and you can like sneak it into the like product listing. Yeah.
Mhm. So
But
that's
yeah.
one way we could go. Another way, my mind went straight to a membership where what does one mock-up cost?
Like anywhere between 10 and 20 New Zealand dollars.
Okay.
So like US is, I don't know, maybe like 8.
I'm thinking somewhere in like the 50 New Zealand dollars range. About
Mm.
the same price as buying 3.
Oh
So
yeah.
whatever that would average out to be, if you're going to buy 3, you could
Mm.
just choose to join my membership instead, where you pay that amount every month and you have access to all of mine.
Oh, oh, good. Yeah,
So then
nice.
you get that reoccurring because, one mock-up is good, but 100 mock-ups is way better.
Yeah, yeah.
There would probably have to be either like and tell me if I'm losing you here, either some sort of drip release where you get so many every month so that
Mhm.
they're not just paying one membership fee and going in and downloading all of them and then canceling.
Gotcha.
Or let's see, how could that work? You know what it could be is for the price of 3, I will send you 10 every month or something along those lines.
Yeah, nice.
The problem is, I'm thinking through this as we're going.
I see
The
you.
problem is that you would probably have to sell the membership through Etsy in order for
Mm,
them to allow promoting it. And
mm,
I don't know that they can play with recurring billing. So it might be that you would have to message everyone who buys and say, hey, I also have this option if
yeah,
you'd like to apply your balance
yeah,
kind of deal, which is a lot of admin work.
yeah. It's the recurring revenue that you're getting at, right? Like,
Right.
that's the key. Yeah,
Exactly. The recurring revenue, but also if you get a customer once, how do we get them again and again and again without them
gotcha,
having to remember to come back to your Etsy shop?
gotcha. Yeah,
That's the one thing that I don't love about Etsy is
yeah,
you're kind of separated from the customer. The
yeah.
great thing about Etsy is to find the customers for you.
Yes, totally. And everyone's generally on Etsy to buy, like, they're hunting for,
Yes, they're
you
looking
know.
for something specific.
Yeah, yeah.
So another option, which goes back to how are we promoting this, is we create something outside of Etsy. We keep Etsy running because it's
Mm,
working. No need to
mm,
break anything that's not working.
yeah,
But something like creating its own Instagram account, creating its own YouTube account,
yeah,
because you said you wanted to play with YouTube, something along those lines that's very search engine, probably not Instagram actually, because or I'm thinking search engine because you've
yeah,
obviously got the key to that down.
yeah. YouTube.
So YouTube, another possible one could be Pinterest.
Yeah,
I like Pinterest because it keeps working,
yeah,
like YouTube.
for sure. Yeah.
But then those pins or those videos would go to a membership site on your website,
And bringing people back to my
back to
website as
you.
well, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So for my clients, what I recommend is if they're on Etsy, great, like do Etsy, but make
Yeah.
it a separate thing. Don't send people to Etsy.
Yeah,
Send
gotcha.
people to you.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, where is this landing? Like, what do you think about the membership idea in some way, shape, or form? Is that even appealing to you? Or are you like, that sounds too techy and I don't even want to go there?
It's a little tricky. It's interesting. The thing that stresses me out is, I guess, having to make sure that I'm making, like, ongoing, making enough to, like, be spitting new work out at people.
Mhm.
And I love the automation, like, I love the hands off. So, like, if it's, if I can automate everything, awesome. I'm all about it.
It
Yeah.
would take
But
some
if I'm
building,
Yeah,
but I
right,
think there's a
gotcha.
lot of automating that could happen for
Yeah.
sure.
I like it. I like the concept.
Okay, so we'll keep going. Keep driving. We don't need to do a U-turn. Okay, so do you want to talk about the automation of it? Or do you want to talk about what it would look like? Or do you want to talk about a YouTube or a Pinterest strategy? Like, what would be the most useful
Yeah, YouTube. Let's go YouTube.
YouTube? Okay.
Yeah. It's, like, already there.
Do you make videos about the mock-ups at all yet? Are you interested in doing so? I mean, you said
Like,
YouTube, so
how to use them?
it could be a lot of things. It could be how to use them.
Mm,
That would be like a very basic, I don't know, 5, 10 video series
yeah,
that you can actually create series
yeah,
on YouTube.
gotcha.
So that would be like
Yeah,
your start here. But also, I'm thinking more shorts, like
yeah,
demonstrations of you or other artists using them. Maybe
yeah,
you could do cross promotions with other artists, like, hey, I'll give you 3 free mockups if you will videotape yourself putting your art in it and send me the final product and
nice.
1, 2, 3, 4 things, something like
Perfect.
that. What other kind of content would be good? I really think this is one of those instances where you don't need a ton of different types of content. It's more like the same over and over and over, which
Yeah,
sounds really boring. But if somebody wants to see how to do it or see what their art could look like inside of that, plus you could repurpose those videos on your Etsy.
yeah, exactly. I also love I love a good recipe, right? It's if I can be more efficient and I know that there's a recipe that works, perfect.
Well, this is where actually doing it comes into play because we would have to create, I don't know, 30 artist collaborations or 30 mock-ups of you putting your artwork into, I don't know if we call it in situ, but something like that, to see, like, are they going to perform? And I think the main thing about YouTube is, 1, are they interesting? But also, are you using keywords?
Gotcha. Yeah,
That's really the big thing because, when people are going on YouTube, more often than not, like Etsy, they are searching for something. It could even be, although I don't know that you wanna give away your process, it could be, like, process videos of you creating them, but not
mm,
like a how-to, but just you doing it. I
gotcha.
follow one graphic designer, and I apologize to you, I don't remember your name, but she videotapes her computer screen and imagines some celebrity that she would like to create branding for, and then creates, like, a whole website, and it shows her moving
Wow.
all the elements around, and it's just
Yeah,
so fun to watch.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Nice.
sped up, so it's not like, "And then I use this tool, and
Click
then I
here and
blah."
do that.
Right, exactly, it's just more like, "Here's me creating it," which
Cool.
people love process videos.
Mhm.
So we've got process videos, a how-to series, and we've got mock-up use. The thing about short form videos that I love is that you can repurpose them on so many places.
And this is what I've kind of realized I was putting so much energy into my Instagram that
Mhm.
I realized, like, just flip the camera and start creating stuff for YouTube, and
Right.
then, just change the ratio and have it for short form. I can still be putting the same amount of energy that I was into Instagram, but I'm, like, kind of taking it one step up, I can repurpose, that could be a blog post as well.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
then you can take those how-to series and create a series of blog posts that are also keyworded with your headings where I see the problem going. All this is a lot of work that takes you
Yeah.
away from painting.
Yes.
But also, it has proven itself to be a very viable income stream,
Which frees me up.
which frees you up, sort of.
Kind of like it's the emotional side, like, if I know that
Mhm.
I've got income coming in, then it frees me up. There's not the stress and the pressure of creating, which frees me up to create more. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you open to the idea of bringing someone on to kind of semi-run this? Like, you tell them what to do, but then, like, you create a process. First you do this, and you do this, you do this. Here's a video, go.
Yes. How?
How?
Yes.
How? Um,
I'm getting to the point in my business where I'm like, I have so much going on, and I can see how beneficial it would be to start delegating some of this work and having somebody that, I can work closely with. But I'm like, I don't particularly like managing people. It's just a lack of skills, to be honest.
yeah. Okay, so first of all, don't hire anyone.
Gotcha.
Hire someone who is a trained virtual assistant. I have hired 2 people from the same, like, a training university for virtual assistants. One's been with me for a year and a half. One's been
Oh,
with me for 3 or 4 years.
wow.
They're amazing. I
Yeah.
have no complaints. I tell
Cool.
them what to do, but I tell them once, and then they do it over and over and over.
Amazing. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you get them to do? Obviously, like emailing me and scheduling podcasts and such.
Yeah, so one of them, Julie, is my podcast manager.
Cool.
She does the whole podcast.
Wow.
I did train her somewhat on podcasting with my limited knowledge of podcasting, and she has also taken it upon herself to train herself in it because it's where she wants to specialize. And so, like, it's kind of a joint. I'll say, okay, I would like you to send me these statistics every month. And she will say, oh, well, what about this kind of show notes? Should we edit it to be like this? And so we kind of work on it together.
Cool.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link in the show notes and I'm going to have Julie send it to you as well because
Right.
she knows where it is, I bet.
Yeah. And she's listening.
She's listening.
Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Julie. Okay. So the other one, Becky, does most of my client care. So, like, she basically makes sure my program is running.
Cool.
So, she will upload all of the videos of the client calls and email them out. She does little things like I'm actually training her right now on distributing my form videos everywhere. So, I make it once and then she puts it in all the places.
Amazing.
Just all the stuff that would keep me in the muck and that honestly my brain could not realistically execute because I'm ADHD. I could do a project, but if I have to do all of these steps for the other projects, it's
Yeah.
not happening.
Gotcha. Yeah. My
So
husband has
first,
ADHD. I understand you.
thank you. I feel seen.
Yeah. I get you.
Yes. Okay, so first of all, hire someone who has some idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Second of all, I recommend, above all, creating something called standard operating procedures.
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah. Like step by step how you do everything, right?
Exactly. So we have one big Google Doc that says
Cool.
once a month, do this. Here's the steps to do it. Here's the login. Here's how you upload a photo. Here, like, just break it. So if I ever lose one of them, God forbid, I will be able to somehow train someone else because I have all the steps
Amazing.
and all the
Cool.
things that they have to do.
Perfect.
So in my mind, this person is you're creating the content. Maybe they could help you with that, maybe not, I don't know, it depend on the person. But in my mind, you're creating the content and they are distributing it to YouTube. They're looking, maybe you're giving them some guidance, at least at first, on finding the right keywords. And then they're going out and doing the work and putting them in there. They are then taking the videos and putting them onto Etsy. They're going to help you get your membership site up and running. So once you've created 10 mockups, then they know on the first of every month, they're going to email everyone and say, here's the 10 of the month and any customer service things that come in. They're going to be monitoring your email. And basically, they're going to run that side. They're going to pay for themselves.
Cool. Amazing.
I'm backing up just a second because I'm looking at my notes and I thought something earlier and it didn't come out. This how-to series, I see them as your long videos, the horizontal ones, and the rest of them are your short form. Maybe that works, maybe that doesn't, but that was what popped in my head.
I like it.
Okay, so recap back to me your takeaways so far.
Good. Gosh, there's so much in there.
I
So
know.
with the
Maybe too
cups,
much. Sorry.
but no, 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 no. Don't never apologize. There's so much value in there. I'm just like, oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
That was someone buying one of my mock-ups.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
It never gets old, like ever. I'm like,
I bet.
also mindset of like when I'm selling originals, right? They're like the sale of an original is less often.
Mhm.
Whereas what I've noticed with the mock-ups is I'm selling like, I don't know, anywhere between 0 and 12 a day. And just the mind shift of like, I've got money coming in at me all the time. I'm like dopamine boost all the time
Oh,
of
yeah. I bet that's
I've got money
nice.
coming in at me, and, like, it's totally changed my, like, mindset around, like, I don't have enough or I need to be making money or whatever. It's just been really, like, such a surprising thing of, like, yeah,
It's
this
very
ebbs and
abundant.
yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah. I love it. Anyway, where were we at?
I don't know.
Takeaway.
Where were we? Takeaways. Yes. I said I gave you too much, and then we went down the rabbit hole.
No, no, not too much. Definitely not too much. I love the potential strategy around YouTube and the content types. It's such practical advice and really helpful. I do wonder if I can hook it in with my art as well because my like
Mm.
I do want to promote that I'm an artist and maybe that could be like a one avenue or like a I guess a content pillar or something is the mock-ups is part of that, especially if I can be driving it to my website, or is it too like
You know what I think I would do? Oh, I don't normally
um,
tell people to separate things. I don't really love them separated, but this feels like such a different thing. But I may tell you something different tomorrow, but I think I would separate them.
uh-huh,
And in a lot of the videos that you use your art as examples and link that in the description.
yeah, cool,
So then would that create a whole nother YouTube strategy? Oh, I hate that.
possibly, yes. That's what I'm like,
Here's
"Oh."
what I would do.
Yeah,
Start with this because we want to get one thing running.
yes, but
But
it's also quite
then
different, right? Like,
it is.
I see so many artists, like art YouTubers, whereas mock-ups are so different.
I know that a lot of artists are going to be looking for it.
Cool.
And I do believe that artists are also art buyers.
Yes, 100%.
Actually, I believe that with all my heart because every artist I know, maybe minus one or two, is like, "Oh, yeah, I bought this person's art and that person's art." And normally it's like the lower stuff, but they
Yeah,
are supporters of the arts.
totally.
So, what I would say would be start with it as a mock-up channel, and once you feel like I've got my feet under me, maybe then I want to experiment with adding my art into the channel. And
Cool.
at that
Yeah,
point, you can decide, do I want to try to add it here or do I want to decide I want to try something else for art and YouTube? Or do I
Mm,
just want to just make YouTube just my mock-up central?
cool. Yeah. Right.
That's a
Good.
further down the line problem, I think.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha. I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
you said YouTube, you said the types of videos.
yeah, the
What else?
like, kinda collaborating with other artists and helping or, like, getting them to help generate content, but also giving them value by gifting them some mock-ups is amazing. Sorry, I've been sick, so I'm, like, a little.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and, like, process videos, like, all the actual content and focus on those keywords just like I am with Etsy, but, bring that over into YouTube language.
It's probably
And
not all that different. If it's working on Etsy, it's probably gonna work on YouTube.
cool, okay. And just start with your long form, chop it down, and then repurpose. But also, you're kind of blown my mind with like the whole VA thing, getting a VA, getting your standard operating procedures, and like set that up for the long term. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great.
And I will also say they're a little bit more expensive when you hire someone who's trained, but
Worth it.
maybe not because they work faster, they work more efficient. You're not like always having to be on their
Intuitive.
back. Yeah.
Great.
And then so the first thing is promoting them and starting that YouTube channel, but I would really like to see you explore that membership idea.
Mm,
Because if
yeah.
3 people out of the 12, and I feel like that might be a eventually realistic conversion rate, then go over and say, "Instead of giving you 50 here, I'm gonna give you 50 every month for a while." I mean, then you just triple no, not even triple. I don't even know what you did. You made a lot more money.
Yeah. And it's the consistency that's really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't expect probably them to stick around really long term, but even if it's
Six
2 or 3
months.
or 4 months,
Okay, cool.
that's, 4 times that sale already.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I'm interested. I think like the blocks for me are like what platform, like how to actually like, you know,
Make it as simple as possible.
execute.
VA can help you with researching that, but also don't start off by making it really complicated. Start off by saying, as soon as you join, I send you 10 mockups, and then on the first of next month, you get 10 more. So all you need is their payment information and email address,
Cool. Yeah.
and
Great.
you can send them a Dropbox folder or something.
Perfect. Yeah. Easy.
Mhm.
Cool. I love it.
Eventually, you can make a website, and it can have download buttons, and it can have this, and it can have that, but we don't need to go there yet. Always start
Totally.
with the smallest version of what you wanna make and get it going, and then make it bigger, and then make it bigger.
Beautiful.
Same thing with the VA. Like, you can probably hire them for, mm, I don't know, maybe 15 hours a month to start and grow it
Wow.
from there.
Great. Yeah. That's really achievable.
I don't wanna talk about anything else because I feel like I already made my
Yeah.
own brain hurt. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but do you need any clarification on anything? Is there anywhere that I can help you understand better?
I think you've been amazing. You've been so practical with your suggestions and your advice. And I just really love the way that your brain works and that you want to give ideas and you want to help. You're like a little cheerleader, you know?
Oh, thank you.
I'm excited to explore some ideas and make my art business more profitable, more sustainable, and also freeing up my time. I think that's a really big key, and getting some help because I definitely think that that's holding me back, you know,
Yeah.
and getting a VA to get on my side.
So if I were to make a suggestion, I would
Yes,
say get the simplest version of that working and then go promote your murals. That's
cool.
next.
Yeah, great. I
Yeah.
like it. Cool.
Well, Jasmine, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much. This is
Yeah.
honestly just packed full of value and it was really fun not knowing where this was gonna end up.
That's my favorite part.
Cool. Yeah.
Tell all your friends to come be my podcast guests so I don't have to find them.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah.
have a lot of people, they're always asking me, like, "How do you get on a podcast?" I'm like,
Yeah, so I'll put a link to that too. But
"Oh,
seriously, for anybody listening, you're like, "Oh, I don't know. Should I do it?" Just do it.
yeah,
Just do
it's
it. Help
amazing."
me out. I wanna help you out. Help me out.
Yeah, yeah. So good. Ah, so much value. You are meeting me where I'm at, which is really cool. Like, yeah, it's really nice.
Thank you for
Mm.
saying that. When I got on here, I'm in my I call it my winter phase. I'm in my winter phase, so I'm, like, kinda tired and like, "Oh, is this even gonna be good?" So I appreciate all of the encouragement. Where would people find you?
Find me, so on Instagram, jasmine.kroeze. Yeah, and my interior mock-ups on Etsy, but now after talking to you, I'm gonna put them all on my website too. I can drive people there.
No, you're not. Your VA is.
Oh, my VA is, yes, perfect. Yeah, I love it. Perfect. So, yes, I'm on Etsy, Interior Mock-up Co.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go pick up my childrens from schools.
Okay.
So thank you again.
Thank
We'll talk
you.
soon, I hope.
Yeah,
Hear
let's
how it
keep in
goes.
touch. I'd love that. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye,
Bye,
Jasmine.
lovely. See ya.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit subscribe so that you can get new episodes loaded straight onto your phone as soon as they're ready. And as an added bonus, when you subscribe, it helps other artists find this advice so we can learn how to make our art more valuable as a community. What could be better than that? And be sure to say hello and let me know you've been listening over on Instagram. My handle is @ArtistMarketCo. I would love to hear from you.